On this primordial world, territory is the only law. The weak fall and become nothing more than a meal for the stronger. But today, something foreign has entered their sacred ground. It smells smoke, leather, and human skin.
To this wild hunter, the scent of fire and humans is something new, and it will not go unnoticed.
From their high ground, they see intruders camping upon their land. They seek only shelter for their family, unaware they have crossed an invisible border of death. He hears it first, a voice from the darkness he cannot yet understand. By the warmth of their small fire, they feel safe, believing the darkness ends where the light fades. The night lets them sleep, but the hunters are already measuring their weakness. At sunrise, this world is breathtaking and indifferent to the fragile lives beneath its sky. They believe that moving on will keep them safe, not knowing they walk deeper into the wolves' domain.
Without knowing it, he steps across an ancient line, drawn in tooth and claw. They move forward, believing they are alone, unaware of the eyes that follow every step. This world does not belong to them. Here, they are only passing shadows. In his young mind, this forest is a place of wonder, not yet a hunting ground. He still thinks other creatures are their greatest threat, not knowing a far more patient predator watches from the shadows. The ground remembers every hunt, long before humans arrived. Her instincts feel the danger, long before her eyes can name it. If not for fangs and claws, this world might almost feel like a paradise. Yet this paradise has already crowned its ruler. For the first time, the man and the wolf truly see one another. For a brief moment, predator and intruders share the same sky, and both understand what the next encounter might bring.
Step by step, they walk closer to the heart of the wolves' territory. The pack begins to close the circle, a new hunt already decided. They stop to rest, choosing, by chance, a resting place on the wolves' hunting trail. The earth speaks first, warning of heavy steps drawing near. The boy feels the trembling, but cannot yet grasp the scale of what is coming. The pack tests them first, circling to see how hard this new prey will fight.
Instinct drives him to stand between his family and the fangs, even as the circle tightens.
The fire buys them space, but it cannot burn away the hunger watching from the dark. She was not born a warrior, but this night she swings her fear like a weapon. His blood tells him to charge, but his father's hand reminds him that survival begins with restraint.
Wolves and fire share the same clearing tonight, each side watching carefully to learn how far the other is willing to stand its ground.
The first to test them pays the price, and the pack understands these strangers will not fall easily. For the boy, this is the first time death has looked back at him, and he knows the next charge might be his. When the sun rises, they are still alive, but this ground now remembers both their fear and their defiance.
For the pack, this is not just a fallen hunter. It is a wound to their pride that must be answered.
They know the pack will not forget, so they cannot stay where the scent of blood is thick. They leave the clearing behind, but
they walk a narrow line between stone and void, with the pack tracing every step on the far side.
Outnumbered, they cannot outrun the pack forever. Ow. So he searches for stone that can turn prey into hunters.
From above, he finally sees how many shadows follow them, and understands the fight will not be against a single set of jaws.
She gathers more than wood and stone. She is building the thin wall that will stand between her family and the pack.
They have no walls, no iron, no fortress. Only the tools they can carve from their fear in the ground beneath their feet.
Here, in this throat of stone, numbers matter less, and he chooses this place for their stand. The pack reaches the mouth of stone, and even their leader hesitates, tasting the air for a trap. In the throat of the canyon, their fear hardens into timing, and the first rush breaks against their resolve.
One heartbeat too far forward, and he would have been taken. Instead, her hand hauls him back from the edge.
Stone and fire have bought them another night, but every pause in the attack is only the breath before the next storm. The night's strength is their courage thin, but their fear has nowhere left to run. From the heights he calls his kin.
Both sides feel the pull of what comes next, a moment that will decide whether this chase ends here or grows into a war.
He no longer hides behind their courage. He chooses to stand inside it. He understands now. This will not end unless he kills the shadow that leads them. For a heartbeat, hunters and hunted stand in balance. The silence heavier than any roar.
They don't fight with elegance. They fight with timing, panic, and desperation carved into something like skill. They force the pack to fall back again, but each victory costs strength they cannot replace.
He has learned how to wound, but not yet how to harden his heart enough to kill without question. The pack's leader has tasted their strength, and now must decide whether to bleed them slowly or end. They cannot wait for the next attack to decide their fate, so he draws away to turn stone and fear into a weapon. The pack feels the weight of this hunt as well, but hunger and fury do not loosen their grip on this canyon.
If they stay, they will be worn down piece by piece, so he chooses a path that risks everything in a single move. They climb, thinking stone might free them, but the pack learns their new path almost as quickly as they do.
High ground gives them space to stand, but not a way to avoid the teeth coming toward them. They do not win with flawless strikes, but with enough force and courage to keep the predators from breaking through.
Step by step, the pack pushes them where there is nowhere left to retreat, a place where a single misstep means an end to the fight.
Steel does not exist in their world, so he searches for a heavier weapon, one carved by time and gravity.
To break the pack's strength, they must risk standing so close to death that one slip could pull them over with their hunters. For a single heartbeat, the mountain itself fights at their side, and the pack learns what it means to be trapped.
The pack is no longer a single, tight circle of teeth. Now it is a scattered line of hunters trying to remember their courage.
When the pack's body breaks apart, its rage gathers into the one that refuses to retreat.
They have broken the pack's circle. Now all that remains is the jaws that held it together. Against a single mind of fury, they have only one defense: 3 hearts that refuse to step back.
The pack's leader has watched him flinch and hesitate all night, and now it tries to break the chain by breaking the weakest link.
It chooses the youngest to break them, but finds a mother's fury and a father's resolve standing in its way.
For the first time, he does not just survive the attack, he helps drive it back. When the leader of the pack falls, it is not a clean victory. It is the end of a night that demanded everything they had to give.
Without the will that drove them forward, the pack is only a circle of doubt, and doubt does not charge cliffs. They do not conquer this land, they survive it. Tonight, that is enough to make even a pack of wolves turn back. They have kept each other alive, but no triumph can erase what they had to become to do it.
He is not just a hunter to them. He is a child who came within reach of teeth and lived. They cannot speak to the wolves in words, so they speak with stone, marking a line neither side should cross again. They do not return as the same three people who entered that gorge. They carry new scars. This world does not belong to them alone. It belongs to every creature willing to fight, flee, and endure. They cannot erase what happened on the cliffs, but in this quieter place, they can remember that they are a family before they are fighters.
The wolves have not vanished from this world, but for now, they choose distance over blood. This is not a gentle world, nor a forgiving one. It is a planet built. They stepped into a territory that was never there, and survived long enough to walk out together.